Big night for Wright, plays twice this evening. No word yet from the Wright camp whether he's going to change his hairstyle and clothes in between matches. We'll wait and see for that one. But a fine debut season continues, winning 5, drawing 3 of his opening 9 matches. He says, if I get any more relaxed, I'll go to sleep up here. Such is the confidence of Peter Wright. Anderson only picked up 1 point, 1 win in 4 matches since beating Taylor and Exeter. A few sleepless nights in between now and last Friday because his partner Rachel gave birth to a boy called Ty. Congratulations to Gary Anderson, becoming a father again. Will it motivate him to put on a performance here? Commentators Wayne Mardle and Rod Studd.
Thanks, Dave. Yeah, and a good night already for Gary Anderson, because without even playing, he's moved up a place on the league ladder, because Dave Chisnell's gone below him on leg difference. Peter Wright then with a double date tonight. Firstly with Gary Anderson and then later with Raymond van Barneveld, who's already won, defeating Chisnell in that first game. But Wright very definitely looking at the top end of this league table, starting the night in second spot. Needs to secure one of those 4 spots, and you fancied him to do that all the way along, Wayne, and you've no reason to change your mind now, have you?
No, I haven't. I think he's been consistently brilliant, and he's got the swagger, got the confidence, and look at those trousers. He's got those as well. Well, he seems to be using the same darts as last week, which I just find incredible, because he changes his darts like he changes his strides. Daily.
Well, tonight, surely he will play consecutive matches in the same garb. Or will he?
60.
Well, it usually takes his wife Jo a good hour to get the hair wear right, so she's going to have to be pretty sharp with the scissors to give him a different Barnet for the final game of the night.
There's a Barnet. This is what Peter Wright has done duration of the Premier League so far. Hit the 60 with the first dart.
100.
He ended with 100. It's not what he's been doing. He has been very consistent, as is Gary Anderson. Won 4 times on tour, playing well every week, it seems like. Just not getting the wins, Gary, that I think he'd have liked. He's won 4 and lost 5. And a few of those losses,
100.
he could have gone the other way.
121.
11 for the Bull. Wow,
96.
wobbler.
Peter Wright 101.
Couple of ways to go. 60, 9 for 32.
69.
Well, when he let go of that, his body language would suggest he thought it was in.
Double 12 the pick. Slide out. 1-0 Anderson.
That is where Gary Anderson has improved immensely for me. The first dart on the double 12 was the perfect marker, and he just followed it in.
105.
Why go for the Bull, Gary?
Our first one.
140.
Not to be. Well, at the moment, Gary Anderson and Peter Wright, the way the rankings stand, this could be the Scottish World Cup team. It's going to be played in June in Hamburg, live on Sky Sports. Robert Thornton, possibly the only one that can take one of their places. So, enemies at the moment, but then they're going to be all pally-pally in June.
56.
Well, we saw draw specialists RBB and Dave Chisnell on stage tonight with 9 draws between them, almost another. Anderson, the only player without a draw to his name.
45.
Can you have an undraw specialist?
Non-draw specialist? Yes, you can, yes.
Well, he is one, if you can have such a
97.
thing. And Anderson now leaving himself on a 3-dart combo to go 2 up when he comes back.
90.
Well, that was a slack
Gary
dart.
Rubal, 109.
That is not. 9 for Tops.
69.
Didn't like that
Rubal,
one bit.
91.
Now, Gary will be so annoyed if this leg goes south.
Treble 20 leaves double 12. You know what he wants? He hasn't hit it.
79. Gary Rubal, 40.
Tops for Gary. No drama at all. I spoke to Gary after last week when he wasn't best pleased about losing to Peter, lost 7-5, and he felt he should have been the other way round. But Peter Wright has had a knack of nicking points, of stealing the pair of them at times.
Anderson's first. Yeah, Wright won the last 3 legs, didn't he? Anderson led 5-4 in that game. That's why he thinks he should have won. He had dead darts at double to guarantee a point as well.
100.
Well, that was unlucky. Well thrown dart. When you are
60.
on for the 9-darter like he was, you don't want to go below that 60. Got to be warm in there, surely. Well, these two have played each other 21 times, and it's 11-10 to Gary Anderson. So you'd think that okay, there's not a lot between them, but Peter Wright has won 9 of the last 10 meetings. Gary must be thinking, this man's hard work, I can't seem to beat him.
30. Gary Rubal, 161.
Well, we saw a 164 in the first match for Dave Chisnell. We're not going to see the 161 from the Tartan Terror.
85. Peter Rubal, 131.
Well, to leave 1-3-1 would have been distraught. Not Tops. No, not.
91. Gary Rubal,
But what it is
76.
Tops when he comes back, if he comes back. May not. 2 at double 8 for Anderson.
60. Peter Rubal, 40.
Will he be punished? The likelihood is that he will. It's getting further away. What a good last start. That will hurt Gary Anderson. Had a chance to break and make it 3-0.
Well, Anderson constructed the opportunity for himself beautifully, but couldn't complete the job.
Yeah, anytime you have one dart is fine. You can miss one dart at double and not feel particularly bad about yourself, but when you miss 2, and he had a good marker as well, you just kind of think you've let a chance go. And like we said, it's now 2-1 instead of 3-0.
40.
Well, when you're playing at this level, stratospheric level of darts, best players in the world over short matches, first to 7 legs, 1 or 2 mistakes can prove fatal.
Agreed, one dart here and there. When Peter Wright does miss that 60, he wants to go above, just like Gary.
100.
Such a relaxed throw, Peter Wright.
61. Well,
that's okay in the end with the last dart, leaving himself a 2-darter. And he should and will expect to go 3-1 up.
135.
Superb second and third.
80.
Does not want to be making a mess of this. Got to move over, has to. Tops. That is brilliant. Moving over, never easy. What a finish from Gary Anderson. It was only 80. But remember, he blew the last leg. That took character, determination.
100.
Very assured finish, I thought, Wayne. He had to move, but he didn't in any way deflect it from the task in hand. And look at the follow-up.
140.
Well, I know he's got a 6-day-old son, but Looks like he's been on the practice ball to me, Gary. Has he had time?
85.
Well, there are those who study sports psychology who'll tell you about the nappy factor, Wayne, as it's known that it improves players' performance in all sorts of sports. Becoming a father.
I have no children.
Rest my case. Beautiful. Pretty to watch. In every sense.
.96. Peter Bar 136.
Treble 20 needed. Another. 16 for tops.
96.
Brilliant 6 darts thrown from Peter Wright.
.58. Peter Bar 40.
Two right. Two rights. Double top. 13 dart layer for Peter Wright, and Snake Bite brings it back to a 3-2 deficit.
140.
Another 140 from Gary. That's his 5th. Just at 180 apiece. Gary used to be the maximum man. Now he's kind of
59.
He's calmed that down and just become ultra consistent. He's changed his way of playing. Well, it's working, that's for sure.
140. .97.
No longer Mr. Maximum. The 140 man doesn't quite have the same ring about it. He's in half a dozen though tonight.
Dave Chisnall has taken over the mantle of the maximum specialist. Hit another 5 tonight.
138.
138. Someone whose name escapes me hit this 138 finish many, many years ago. Tweet me if you know the answer. I'm glad I forgot his name.
Several lifetimes ago, I think it was, as Peter Wright looks at 2-4-5, trying to set it up, can't do so. So Anderson's got half a dozen at 48. Tops.
He's
nailing that tonight. Looking good, Anderson.
Looking assured.
Yeah.
He's had a determination since the start of this Premier League, which I personally haven't seen since
86.
probably the middle of 2011, after he'd won the Premier League, and in sort of fits and starts, he'd always been quality. But now, winning the tour events, playing well constantly, week in, week out in the Premier League, there seems to be something about Gary Anderson that suggests to me that
45.
something is about to happen. Massive.
Well, so often he's promised the world and delivered an Atlas.
I like that.
He's let the odd point here and there slip in this tournament too, hasn't he? We mentioned the one against Peter Wright, which he lost last week when he was in the winning position. He was in a winning position against Adrian Lewis in week 6 and lost 7-5. But when he throws like this, so easy to be seduced by the silky Scots. A joy to watch.
Averaging 101.
140.
Good reply.
98.
60. Treble 18. Double 12. For 5-2. It is 5-2. It's another break. Gary Anderson is throwing for a point.
And he is throwing with a calm assurance.
139.
Measured, in control. Excellent performance from Gary Anderson this evening.
You did say, Rod, that he's been in winning
84.
positions a couple of times and let it go. Cannot be having doubts now. Not with the way he's playing and not with the way Peter Wright is playing. Well, Those darts were thought about, I'll tell you.
$100.
Yeah, he's lost 3 games, 7-5, Gary Anderson. To Wright, to Lewis and to Michael van Gerwen.
81.
So it has been a bit of a coulda, woulda, shoulda league so far for the Scotsman. They're all with a chance of qualifying, aren't they? I mean, Gary Anderson started the night in 6th spot. In 7th spot, and Robert Thornton below him is adrift, but anyone with a decent run here can haul themselves into contention.
Yeah, that's what makes the Premier League so special to watch. Every game matters, every leg matters. The amount of times elimination and the playoff places have been sorted through legs difference.
137.
Brilliant setup.
105.
105. Tops, has to be. Has to be. That is majestic. Come on, he says, get in. That is a point guaranteed for Gary Anderson. He will not settle for just a point. He wants 2. He's greedy.
And what was so impressive was that Peter Wright had just gone 137 to leave tops. So if Anderson was going to crumble or quiver, that was an opportunity for him to do just that. He didn't.
95.
Audacious finish.
He just looks up for it every week. He just looks ready to me. We know his ability. That's always been unquestioned. This is that good. Peter Wright now averaging 97. Gary Anderson 100. Here we see the top 55. Of the table. Gary Anderson will jump into 4th.
Well, if he were to win, which he's a long odds on to do, he can get after
15.
Adrian Lewis. Anderson was 4 legs adrift of Lewis. If he wins this leg and wins 7-2, he will go above Lewis at least temporarily.
140.
That's a big move.
Anytime you enter the playoff places, it's a big move, because then the others chasing you. It's up to you then.
140.
This is a real quality match. Treble 17.
137.
Will he get a shot at 74, or can Peter Wright take out this 96? Double 18 for tops. Oh, go on. Oh, this is magnificent. This is why we watch. This is why people come to darts in their thousands. If you're at home on your settee and you're not enjoying this, then there's something wrong with you.
A double finish.
105 with 2 tops.
Yeah.
96 with double, yes. And it's not easy hitting 1, let me tell you. It's not easy getting down to 1, let me tell you.
97.
It wasn't easy to work out how many times to say double there. Anderson 6, Peter Wright 3. Wright still going to run another 3 legs straight
100.
to pick up a point.
Well, the first 2 were tight. The arm tightened on the first 2. That's the first time Gary has gone low and then low again. You do not want to be switching round the board.
125.
It's not conducive to hitting big scores. That is perfection.
99. Peter Wright 136.
To produce Saru Fraser to get back to 6-4. Another double 8. Ah, it's magnificent. It's majestic. It's 6-4. Peter Wright has really rattled Gary Anderson's cage.
For those of you that watch the World Championships and watching this man playing a final thinking is a one-hit wonder, you can't still be thinking
55.
that, surely. The way Peter Wright has played since the start of the Premier League has just been superb.
100.
Has not relented. His belief has never waned.
Well, Anderson has squandered
100.
winning positions several times in the 2014 running of the Premier League. This is where he has to hold his nerve and maintain his belief. He's played well enough to win. He's been the better player. I have no idea. Have you, Wayne?
Maybe some kind of... No idea, no.
57.
Well, that is Gary Anderson's poorest visit of the match, because just when he needed one or two high-scoring trebles, he found nothing. Well, there was a lot of power in that dart.
125.
Thrown with no finesse at all, and that's what we come to expect from Peter Wright.
Leave double 12. That's the way to do it.
Peter got 81.
Well, the last two legs, Peter Wright's taken out 96 and 136. Can he add this 181? Sorry, 81. That was a bit of fortune. Tops now.
41.
Didn't
Going to require 24.
get away with it. Now, for a win, 24. Gary Anderson wraps it up in confident fashion. From an 100 average, he beats his countryman, Peter Wright, by 7 legs to 4. He marches on.
And next, Robert Thornton takes on the Premier League leader, Michael van Gerwen.